So, Black Ops 6's new seasonal mode, Jingle Hells, has been released and it has received a lot of backlash from the zombies community so far, and quite frankly, I can't really understand why. Now, having seasonal modes in Call of Duty Zombies is nothing new. I believe this started in around sort of Black Ops 4, but I might be wrong on that. I just remember there being sort of a Halloween theme when that game was at its peak. However, unlike what we saw in Black Ops 4, Jingle Hells isn't just a cosmetic update with all wintry themes, it is actually its own game mode. And from what I understand, a lot of people are upset with the changes that the mode has compared to the sort of basic Black Ops 6 gameplay that we're used to over the last month or so. So let's take a look at Jingle Hells and try and decipher why it is getting so much hate from the community at the moment. Please do try and keep it civil in the comments, because at the end of the day we do all love zombies in our own way, and make sure you do subscribe if you are new here and you haven't already. So Jingle Hells itself is just a wintry reskin of Liberty Falls, what we got on release. However, there are some really cool gameplay mechanics which have changed with this mode. Now, one of the first things that I noticed off the bat, other than the Santa sleigh with the vermin carrying it that you see immediately, is the fact that this game mode actually has zero salvage in it at all. Which obviously means you're not able to upgrade your weapon whatsoever, you're not able to create tacticals, lethals, or any score streaks. All of that sort of more modern era zombie stuff that we're used to isn't in this mode at all. Now, from what I've seen, that is one of the major issues that people are having with this mode, but personally, I really don't mind it at all. In fact, I actually find it really refreshing. Don't get me wrong, I do adore Black Ops 6 zombies, but what I find is that you're always using the same weapon, right? Because you spawn them with your loadout, you get that equipped and fully customized to your liking, and then in every single game of zombies, you use that loadout, and you just continue to level up the gun in that way, and there's no variety in terms of the guns you actually use, unless if you're going to, say, use a wonder weapon, for example. This potentially repetitive nature is something that I did pick up on in my initial Black Ops 6 Zombies review. However, now we are sort of further into the game's life cycle, I feel like it is more of a prevalent issue. Now, Jingle Hells completely avoids that in itself, just with how the game mode works. Not only is there no salvage, which obviously doesn't enable you to actually constantly upgrade your gun, but zombies actually provide you with different weapons at different rarities throughout the game. So as you progress through the rounds, you get progressively better weapons and so on and so on. In doing this, you are constantly refreshing the gun that you're using, and your gameplay is going to constantly vary. Now, some people clearly don't like this, however, I think it's fantastic, and it sort of harkens back to a more classic era of zombies. Like if you just think back on King of the Toten on Black Ops 1, you obviously have your starting pistol, you'll then potentially go buy yourself a wall weapon, which is a little bit better, a little bit harder hitting, you'll then spin the box, get better weapons, and so on until you eventually do cap out at whatever the best weapon is. Black Ops 6 obviously doesn't have that system, so it's quite refreshing to have a game mode that sort of does implement it in its own way. I guess the only real way that this is different in Jingle Hells compared to classic zombies is the fact that there obviously isn't a mystery box. You pick up the weapons just by killing zombies or by completing SAM trials. So again, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar enough to offer a similar gameplay experience. You still get the same random elements appear in the gameplay because you obviously don't know what you're going to get out of the presents that you open. And for those of us that haven't fully sweated out the game at this point or got Nebula or anything like that, using these other guns probably gives you the opportunity to level them up a little bit and earn a little bit of side XP whilst doing this mode, which again is always welcome. Another element of this mode which I think is genuinely fantastic is the vermin rounds, where not only do you obviously get the max ammo come in as you'd expect, but the weather almost becomes Baltic and becomes so cold that you actually start freezing and you can't move as well on the map. I think that's such a small thing which is just ingenious, as it dictates, again, the way that you have to play. You have to actually adapt in order to continue in your survival. Don't get me wrong, it's not like game ending if you don't get inside and seek shelter, but it does provide enough of a challenge to actually encourage the player to follow the rules of this round. I think it's a really nice touch, and honestly I do hope that it gets incorporated into future Zombies maps this season. The other biggest change to the gameplay that I noticed compared to regular Black Ops 6 Zombies is the use of armor in this mode. Now obviously not only is it not craftable because there's no salvage system, but I've found that armor actually drops like barely at all in this game mode, meaning that every hit really counts, and a lot of the time, I'll be honest, I was kind of just running with my health. There was no armor protection at all. So just like the normal gameplay, you have obviously got tier 2 and tier 3 armor available for you to buy on the map, and that does replenish what you've got in your reserve. However, once that's gone, realistically the only way to keep replenishing those armors is to either keep buying it or get lucky with a drop. And obviously when you get higher and higher up in the rounds, the zombies get more frantic and they start hitting harder, you will start getting like sort of 3 or 4 hit downs, even with Jug. I think when you combine this and the previously mentioned lack of salvage system, that is why people are really hating on this mode, is that the challenge ramp up compared to regular Black Ops 6 zombies is significant. Now personally, I started playing zombies back in the World at War days, so to me, I really don't mind if the game is a little bit more challenging and a bit more bare bones than what it is in Black Ops 6. Honestly, I think it offers a really nice variation, and you're almost catering to both those old classic zombies fans and the newer zombies fans of sort of like the Cold War and Black Ops 6 times. I can understand that fans of the newer titles really might not like this game mode, but I really would just like to point out, this is a limited time holiday game mode which offers honestly nothing of any additional value to the base game. Like there's not any specific XP rewards, the only thing that you get a little bit more of a frequency of is the holiday gobblegums, which realistically are all whimsical anyway. So if you really don't like this mode, quite frankly, just don't play it. Like there's no need to play it or complain about playing it when you have 3 other fantastic maps in Black Ops 6 already. I mean, we've got Citadel Del Morte's, what, like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and it's one of the best maps we've ever played. You can quite easily just play that if you're really not liking the reskin of Liberty Falls. Don't get me wrong, I can fully get behind criticising Treyarch when I think they've done something shit, and believe me, when it comes to innovations they've made in the past, there's been a bunch of shit that I haven't liked. However, what they've provided here with this map isn't really innovation at all, it's just stripping back from the core gameplay of Black Ops 6 and giving a more simplified experience with a bit of additional challenge. I don't see anything wrong with that. And because of this lack of resource available in the game, certain core mechanics that were otherwise a little bit underutilized become way more beneficial to you. So like trying to complete the SAM trials, for example. Don't get me wrong, they're always a help in the game, but they feel like more in this mode because the points and the gadgets that you're going to get are going to be way more useful than they were previously because you can't build them. They're not just at your disposal whenever you have the salvage available. You really have to utilize everything in your sandbox to your benefit. Moving away from the actual challenge side of things with this game mode, I will say there are obviously some quite little comedic bits, right? At the end of the day, it's a Christmas map, it's meant to be a little bit light-hearted, so all of the dress-ups and cosmetics that the zombies are wearing are really cool. It's just fun. Like, there's nothing more to say on it than that. It's just a fun way of differentiating the mode from its regular counterpart. You've obviously also got that with the names of the zombies as well. Again, I'm fairly sure that one was called like Nutcracker or some shit. That's just really funny to me. And that obviously feeds into the specialist zombies as well. Everything on the map has got a bit of a Christmas influence, which, again, it's just quite fun. Like, I can't see any issue with shooting Christmas hats off vermin. You've obviously got the snowmen that I mentioned earlier that you can sort of shoot and you might get some presents out of them, so it could be some better guns or equipment, or you could just get a zombie, which at the end of the day is just extra points, nothing wrong with that either. And the fact that you can physically throw snowballs at zombies and then get rewards from that as well. It's not exactly revolutionary stuff by any means, but it's just different enough to warrant its existence. Same can be said about the naughty and nice power-up. Obviously it can just either provide 30 seconds worth of vermin to attack you or give you some presents. It's a really simple mechanic, but it can add so much to the game that you're currently in because there's such a lack of resource everywhere else. My only real critique of the gift giving is the fact that every single ammo mod you get is cryo freeze. Now don't get me wrong, I get it's a winter map, but holy shit, there's only so many guns I have access to. Please give me a different type of ammo mod to use. But more importantly, what do you guys think? Are you guys having fun on Jingle Hells as much as me, or are you not a fan like a big portion of the community? Either way, whichever side you're on, please do let me know in the comments down below. Again, no fighting, it's all zombies at the end of the day. Who really gives a shit? If you enjoy it, play it. If you don't enjoy it, you don't have to hate those that do. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. Make sure you do subscribe if you haven't already, as we do cover a lot of zombies content on the channel here, and I'll hope to see you in another video sometime soon.